Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray that the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, I just saw this a little while ago on my news feed, and I wanted to have a little discussion about how this Israeli man died of the plague. And what's so funny is that the doctors and all the powers that be say they are for sure it had nothing to do with the shot that he took for the vaccine. They're absolutely positive that the vaccine that he took a few hours earlier had nothing to do with this heart attack. Now, we're not going to get into all of the, listening to what they had to say and their reasoning for everything. All we have to do is this. Let's just take the track record of the people who are giving us this information. Does it look like these people have actually told the truth about absolutely anything? Have they told the truth about who the Most High's chosen people are? Have they told the truth about where their lands are? Have they told the truth about the fact that they were under curses and that they've come out of the curses and now it's time for the other nations to be cursed? Now, if they haven't told the truth about absolutely anything, how can we trust the fact that they're telling the truth right now about the causes of death of this individual? See, now everything has to be weighed in the balance. We don't need to take their word for anything. They are trying to fight the plague with, as they love to say, they love to use science. They have their faith in science. Well, it seems like a lot of the stuff they put their faith in isn't quite working too well. That faith in science doesn't seem to be working very well right now. Let's just read a little bit of this article right here. Israeli man dies after receiving COVID vaccine as 5,000 plus. 5,000 plus health impact events reported in the United States. Following a handful of reports, including one involving a priest from the Philadelphia area who volunteered as a trial participant, about patients who received a vaccine dying in the weeks following the second dose. One man in Israel has died 2 hours after receiving the vaccine. Just 2 hours after you just take a vaccine and you just kind of keel over and die. But these guys are so quick to tell you that, that had nothing to do with the vaccine. No autopsy done, no nothing. Oh, he had a history of these other ailments. So if had he not taken the vaccine, would he have died anyways 2 hours afterwards? These are kind of questions that people should be asking, right? It says, according to reports in the Israeli press, a 75-year-old man from Beit Shean died Monday morning from a heart attack about 2 hours after receiving the vaccine. It says the patient has received the vaccine at 8:30 in the morning, then waited for the customary time at the health clinic before he was released to his home after reportedly feeling well. Sometime after that, the man lost consciousness, then was pronounced dead. So a little bit after that, man lost consciousness, then was pronounced dead. The Israeli Health Ministry released a statement on the death. A 75-year-old man from the north of the country suffering from active heart disease and malignant disease, who has undergone a number of heart attacks was vaccinated this morning against the coronavirus and died at home shortly after the procedure. You love how they use all these other possibilities. Well, yeah, this, and that. Then we vaccinated him, and then he died. It says an investigation into the man's health has been ordered by the Director General of Ministry of Health, okay, Professor Hazy Levi, who has appointed a case investigation committee to be led by the head of the Mohs Safety and Quality Division. So now they're barely giving you an investigation, okay? All right. News of the man's death follow reports that 5,000 out of the first 215,000 recipients of the vaccine in the U.S. reported some kind of adverse health impact event, which could be anything that seriously limits an individual's ability to function and or complete daily tasks. Well, that seems kind of pretty serious. 5,000 people with having either serious limits on individuals' ability to function. I don't know what the hell, that doesn't sound too good. And or complete daily tasks. So it doesn't sound very good. Okay? These events should be severe enough to require medical attention, but exact details are unclear. So they don't give any details as to what's happening. Okay? Now, main thing I just want to talk about is that this is definitely getting out of hand. As much as the world doesn't want to believe it, as much as they want to believe, that these vaccinations are going to fix everything for them. Let me tell you why, again, it's not going to happen. Because the Most High doesn't want it to happen. Simple as that. The Most High doesn't want you to return back to normal. It's as simple as that. Now, the truth can definitely be hidden as far as like what the Most High is doing, and that's okay. I just know that if I remember when I was in school, okay, and I had a test. If I was at home and asleep and I didn't take the test, I couldn't just give myself an A. I couldn't just, stay at home, stay in bed and say, hey, you know what? I got an A. But I never got out of bed, never went to a class, never took the test. See, that's how this whole society is operating right now. When anything bad happens, they are for sure that had nothing to do with their vaccines. They are completely positive that the vaccine had nothing to do with absolutely anything. If there's anything, any adverse effects, it wasn't because of the vaccine. It was something else. We're positive. Have you guys done any testing? No, we haven't done any testing yet. Have you guys done an autopsy? No, we haven't done an autopsy yet. But you're sure that it wasn't a vaccine? Yes, we're absolutely 100% sure it was a vaccine. So you guys get to give yourselves an A before you actually take the test? Is that pretty much how this works now? Of course that's how it's been working, because they've been doing that the whole time. They've been telling us lie after lie after lie, not having to prove it, giving themselves an A for the course without giving any proof that they actually passed the test. You guys are so sure that we're not the chosen people, even though you haven't proven it. You're so sure that that they're the chosen people, but you haven't proven that either. You're so sure that the events of the Bible took place over there in the so-called Middle East, but they still haven't found, where Jericho, where the Israelites circled Jericho and made the walls fall down. They still haven't proven that happened over the Middle East. You guys do know that, right? Like a lot of the biblical stories haven't been proven to have occurred over there in the so-called Middle East. But because they say it, they get an A without taking the test. So that would make sense that we would come into the future now. They've done it for everything else, that they would continue to do it even with these medical, events going on. People, fainting, dying left and right. Things not looking too good. A lot of adverse effects from taking the vaccine. where you guys pretty much say, oh, well, that's not from the vaccine. Why is that? Oh, because we get A's and we don't have to take the test. That's how you guys do it. That's how it's been done for a very long time. But see, now the Most High is making you take the test. The Most High is now making it so you have to prove what you say. You have to show and prove. And you guys can't do it. So now all those times you were getting A's for never taking the test are now turning into big fat F's. That's what's going on right now. So, like I said, it's just amazing how things are going, how things are moving, and the Most High is making them prove. The Most High is making them take them tests now. And there was something else that was going on, I wanted to actually bring up real fast. I heard from a video. Hold on. Last night. Let me pull up a little bit of information here. Let me see here. This was actually from a video from Lisa Cabrera I was listening to last night. And it was talking about the U.S. genome sequence test. And the thing is going with this is the new mutant strain of COVID, or the plague, we should say, is actually requiring like a much more in-depth type of test. And they were saying that, I guess the genome sequence test takes a lot more, time and effort to go ahead and go a little bit deeper into the testing in order to be able to find this new strain of CV. And they said that the United States had only done around 51,000 tests out of like they've only done like 51,000 and more in-depth genome sequence testing. They'd only done about 51,000 tests out of 17 million tests. So how would you really find out if this, this mutant strain was actually present? So how would you really even know if you've barely tested around 51,000 tests out of 17 million positive tests? You're not really going to find too much if you're barely testing. And it said that the UK had performed about 1.7 million of the genome sequence tests out of the ones that out of the cases they've had over there in the UK. So let's see, 51,000 tests here in the United States and 1.7 million tests done over in the UK. So it would make sense that here in the United States you wouldn't be finding these strains because you really haven't been doing the testing. And it makes sense that over in the UK they've been doing more of the genome sequence tests, going much deeper, and therefore now they're finding more cases. And I heard earlier that Canada found like 2, and there's more, but that would be like the Most High, would it not? To go ahead and so you guys think you guys have a vaccine for this? Oh, okay. Well, let me ramp this baby up a little bit more and make it spread even faster to overrun your hospitals even more, to overrun your societies even more. That's more like what the Most High would do. Just as soon as you guys think that you found the answer, you found the cure, the Most High would, turn around and jack everything up, make everything go even faster. Because as we know, the Most High has a sense of humor. The Most High put it on us, and now he's putting it on you. So if you're not running these more in-depth tests, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find the new strain, or be much more difficult. But there's, like I said, it was funny because they were talking over in the UK about how is this vaccine going to work on the mutant strain. And it seems like the UK, you kind of get like differing opinions. Like some say yes and some say no. Which, okay, well, at least they've been doing some testing, so they maybe, but at least you're getting kind of like a yes and a no. Like, we're not sure. But over here, you listen to the news, they're like, well, we're pretty sure that it's going to work. We're pretty sure that it's going to work. Odds on it's going to work. I was like, well, hold on. You guys haven't really been doing too much of this testing. You haven't really been saying too much about, what's going on with this mutant strain, but you're pretty positive that it's going to work, that the vaccine's going to work. Again, and then they'll ask them, well, have you guys done any testing? Well, we're in the midst of doing testing. So again, what are they doing? They're getting an A without taking the test. And most people, because they want, like I said, they want to go back so much to normalcy that they'll believe whatever they put out. So there's been 5,000 plus people who have had adverse reactions. But a lot of them are like, oh, it's no big deal. Just take it anyways. Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's only a small portion of people. Look, nobody's died. So that's what's going on right now. Mosai is ramping things up here quickly. And I kind of saw this come up, and I wanted to just say a little something about this real quick. But like I said, it's all going back to prophecy. Mosai is talking about, sweeping them off the lands, destroying them, making them pay for what they did to the Most High's chosen people. All these events are all, coming together, and they're all fitting like a hand in glove. And what happens when the regular people in society realizes that they've been lied to, that they've been, listening to people who have not taken the test, but are giving themselves an A. Like I said, we usually have to get up out of bed, go to the classroom, take the test, wait for it to get graded, and then hopefully we get an A. That's usually how it works for the real people in the real world. We don't get to lie in our beds, never get up, never go to class, and just because I said, hey, I got an A, I get an A. It doesn't work like that. But that's how these people have been working everything. It's like, hey, have you guys tested any of this stuff? Nah. Have you checked to see if the vaccine's going to work against this new strain? Nah. No, but we're sure. We're pretty confident it'll be okay. We're pretty confident that, our vaccines are going to work. I think that's a very scary proposition for a lot of people, especially us now looking at them and how they've lied about absolutely everything. It's really hard to believe anything that these people say. All praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. Shalom.